mean, other than this guy here, did we look at this box, by the way? These were the sunglasses, weren't they?
Shine on these sunglasses.
Yeah. These are the sunglasses. I got the ones I needed. I got the really weird ones with, like, made out of, like, fish bones or something.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
What's so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer.
Am I cool?
You're very cool.
Oh, yeah.
Bang, 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 bang.
Ah, yeah. Oh, don't shoot. Okay, today, just another work day. Yep, that's it. Another day on the calendar. Yeah, Sealing is a really cool character. I like this guy. You think I'm cool?
Oh, yes. You got style. You got personal style. You know what you like.
Mm-hmm.
You like premium menswear. Look around and browse. Everything looks cool on a guy like you. Take your time.
Where are you from, Sealing?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol.
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola.
You're from the Apricot Suzerainty, aren't you?
Apricot Suzerainty calls to mind an era when the Seaguy archipelago was colonized by Revachol. It's a bit of a slur, in other words.
Oh. Oops. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say that you're from, pronounce it painstakingly. Yeah, that's it, Rhetoric. You could have said this earlier, dude. Oh, shall I just don't fret? No, I'm gonna yeah.
Very cool. I admire your awareness of our intertwined histories. It's super nice of you to apologize for colonialism. But the Apricot Suzerainty is a shithole. That's why I left.
It's like, oh yeah, yeah, dumpster fire. I left. Mm-hmm. But it's only a shithole because of Revachol, or you're welcome. I do try to be supportive of other people's cultures, or I don't know why I'm talking about this, but it's some kind of mind reaction point to your head. No, we'll go with this one. You're welcome. I'm supportive of other cultures.
That's so cool, officer. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur by buying some pens and glasses?
I bought some glasses, thank you very much. Persuade him to give me money. Ooh. I'll go with that soon. So, what's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives.
Yes, they do.
Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
It literally does the chef kiss, like, mwah. Yes. We're looking for a lorry driver who's transporting drugs out of the harbour. He or she is in this traffic jam. I mean, this guy isn't really a lorry driver, he's just a merchant, isn't he? I don't think he's actually a lorry driver. But maybe he's got an ear to the ground. So let's approach him honestly.
That's so cool.
Very
You're
cool.
Investigating the local drug trade like some cool narc?
Yeah.
But I am not a lorry driver. I am just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
No, but you know the other vendors, right? And you know which other vendors the lorry drivers like to go to.
A blatant lie, sire.
Yeah.
Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know better.
Mm-hmm. You can't con a con artist. You are a lorry man. Another driver has identified you and your lorry. Oh, that's true, yeah.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me.
Sadly.
Because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder, and he's an asshole. I'm...
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me.
Just a little bit of a
That's my
lorry
day
driver.
job. This is my dream.
Yeah, right, okay. So you just forgot to tell me, or you were embarrassed to tell me, or stop squirming, what do you know about the drug operation? Or, sealing my sources tell me you're the one transporting drugs for the Union. Do we squeeze him now? We squeeze him now.
No! That's insane. It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week and he sent you here. Maybe he's the one, huh? Have you thought about that?
What do you know about it?
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
Except unless they like it, and then yes, you're all about it, so...
And what crowd is that?
Yeah, what crowd?
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
And who is this drug crowd?
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid.
It wasn't some drug crowd, you know who they are, or you're wasting my time telling me who the fuck is transporting the drugs, or okay, if you don't know, I'll tell your employer you've been selling his stuff, or... I mean, yeah, because this... If he is a truck driver, this is the stock. Do we give him an olive branch here? Who are you afraid of? We can protect you. That never works though, does it? But we'll try it.
Look, there's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've spent 15 years working my way up.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
You don't want to get into this mess. You have to give us a reason to move on. Or we're buddies, help us out. No one will know it was you. No, I'm going to do this now. We're going to make a bit of a scene. You have to give us a reason to move on.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys?
Well, that's the... Yeah, because we did learn from Measurehead that Hardy Boys are with some drug dealer. And who are these other drivers who talk? Or the lady driver, the old woman back there? Dazed out, strange. I'm not going to give him a suspect. He's just going to say, oh, yeah, her, yeah. We wouldn't know. Alright, well, who are the other drivers?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
Associated with the Hardy Boys.
I don't know. I'm not local. I don't know anything about that.
Alright, let's point to her.
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
It could be. She was strange.
She was on something for sure.
He's not ruling her out.
Yeah, but he just said he knows it's a lady, and you could point to any lady and be like him. Maybe. I don't know. So... Okay, we're cool.
All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. You deserve it.
Actually, you know what? I also deserve some money. Yeah, you give me some money.
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember.
Hey, you seem like a really successful entrepreneur. Would you like to support a member of the local police force?
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
Because that's what you should do.
After all this mess, the broken seals, lying to you, come on.
Yeah, think of it as an investment.
An investment? What kind of investment?
In me as a highly experimental human being, my risk-reward ratio is fucking insane. Or invest in me and not telling your employer about your operation here. Damn, straight up asking for a bribe. I'm a policeman. It's an investment in good relations with the RCM. Or a guy told me I need money to live. So, yeah, I don't want to die. I'm gonna go with number 1. This is more the speed of my character. And my risk-reward ratio is insane.
I guess it can't be any riskier than speculating in exotic derivatives. How much are we talking about here?
1 million. No, what? 10 real?
10 real is a bargain for that kind of investment.
Hell yeah.
You got it, my man.
Nice. So, thanks. Damn, I just shook that guy down for money. That felt wrong and yet good somehow. That's it. We almost get for the room. If we sell the postcard, we might get it. I probably need to go and sell that to the pawn shop, I guess. So, hang on. Let's have a look at this then. Where are we on the jam mystery now? Find out who the lady driver is and where her lorry is. So again, we probably need to just canvass these guys. Yeah, they're gonna disappear soon.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
One of the drivers is a woman, but I don't think she's here. Do you know the lady driver?
I don't want to talk about that.
Uh-huh. I don't mean to pry, but I need your help. She may be involved with this drug business. Oh, that'll make him clam up for sure. Yeah, the nuclear cleanup LSD dude, yes. The guy who likes his pretty lights. Alright, we'll go with this.
Man, I was hoping it isn't gonna be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
Interesting. I asked you who's conducting the drug trade. You said you didn't know. Now you're saying you do.
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
He still is, hoping. It's just wishful thinking on his part, not trickery. It's true. We would of course lie, but a kind heart is tricky.
He's thinking the best about someone here.
Bah, emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact.
Alright, who is she? What's her name?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why.
And who is she to you?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay?
What does she look like?
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
It's going to be the lady who we maybe met at the Whirling in Rags when we came out of our bedroom. And the one who's smoking now upon the roof.
What color hair?
Let me guess. Blonde?
Blue and violet.
Oh.
Died. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Yeah. When did she leave?
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
If she's bringing materials for drugs to gangs that are going to ruin lives with it, that's pretty fucking bad.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation.
Well, yes.
The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you.
You said she's troubled. How?
She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
Come on, life's just a joke. No. I was told everyone's afraid of her, and you're not.
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
Her mind?
The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her.
And when she left, did she leave her lorry behind?
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one.
The raceman. Hello, raceman.
The grey-haired woman. Maybe she knows something.
I don't think she knows what day of the week it is, but okay.
Wait, this guy says they're friends, then acquaintances, and he's okay with others ratting her out.
Good point.
Push Tommy and it will break his heart
But yeah.
and his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals.
Yeah, because we got such a good rapport with him with all the lyrics and stuff, you know. You're okay with others ratting her out, you don't want your hands dirty, or put yourself in my shoes, I need this for another investigation too, it's important and I can't blow it. She's a suspect, I need you to tell me who she is. I'll find another way. I mean, we could probably always come back to him and... Let's find another way for now.
Thank you, friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again. Would help with my rhymes, too.
Yeah, so we can do this. Here we go. Alright, okay, so we'll leave. Guy's got a good soul. I kind of get where he's coming from. This is maybe later. I'll try her later. Like I said, I don't know if she knows what day of the week it is, or even where she is, or anything for that matter of fact. We'll probably have to decipher weird stuff.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
I know you've been giving me the runaround. Fess up. Where's the lady driver?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. You can do better than that. First, you knew Sealing didn't do it. Or why are you smirking? Yeah, first you knew Sealing didn't do
He
it.
did something. He stole his employer's goods and another lorryman's job. You should be thankful for the tip.
So then why are you smirking?
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
Who does? You, Tubbs? Or the lady driver does?
No. He means La Puta Madre.
A legendary, and not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock. Controls what is probably the most powerful organized crime outfit in Revachol West. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Yeah, him.
Would this be the crime boss who's distributing the drugs? And if he's got a bone to pick, we could. Yeah, he's coming at it from the other side. Like, what about the you know, the gangs that are dealing the drugs on the streets, right? You know, you want to get rid of them, right? Yeah, I'm gonna let Kim do this. He's good at this. Cross arms and nod.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. multi-ethnic drug addicts.
The lieutenant adopts a rodentine quality. Be cool, sire. He's getting into this.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is.
He's surprisingly good at this. Not bad at all. Look at him lurching.
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job.
And I have a 17% chance. Ah! No! Because of the go fuck yourself, we debuffed ourselves. But hey, we've done 17% before and we've nailed it, so...
Men
Oh!
like this only respect two things.
Oh!
Strength and fear.
Damn! Why couldn't, you know, those dice have come through for punching Measurehead in his stupid head? Show me where her lorry, right fucking now. The lady driver's lorry, where is it?
Fuck you.
Oh, damn.
I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
We're gonna have to go bigger. I'm gonna fuck you for the rest of my life, do you understand? Or I'm gonna put you in a cell with a giant kit and you're going to be bleeding. Oh god, no. Here, I've been to your fucking lorry. I know where it is. Point to it. I'm gonna burn it down, you hear me? Oh, what's your name, fuckhead? I'm gonna go to the police radio saying this guy told Madre to fuck off. Nah. Nah, lorry. Let's threaten the lorry, the livelihood. You know, there's your lorry. It's gonna be in flames.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
Where exactly is her lorry?
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now, leave me the fuck alone, okay?
Nice.
Small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too.
Alright, let's go. Pleasure doing business with you. Alright, we're getting into this. Green Temple by the monument. Here it is. Hey, Belle,
This
how are
green
you?
found, A to Z, contemporary, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
How's things with you, Belle Sunflower? It's good to see you. Yeah, we got really into acting like the peonies. I thought he was going to bring it from another side, not to pretend like they were actually on the payroll of this mob boss. I thought he was going to play it more like, hey, look, you know, because he's a racist, right? And obviously this mob are probably not local either. So he's going to be probably playing it like, well, these guys are dealing the drugs, and that obviously is a problem to you in society too, right? Which, you know, it's like, so help clean it up, you know? What about those guys and the people who work for them and everything else? Be great if they just suddenly got rolled over. That's where the direction I thought he was going, but no, that was a good little ruse by him.
This must be the one he told us about. Unless he was lying.
Awesome, awesome, and you? I'm doing good, thank you very much. It's warm, which is why I don't have my camera on, because I don't have my lights on, because I don't have my windows open, because there's somebody outside for the second day in a row cutting up lengths of pipe in a back garden 2 doors down. So, and the noise comes over the microphone, so I've shut the window, turned the lights off, so that I don't get too hot. Hence the no cam day, you know? So yeah, but I mean, you don't need my face cap. You've got this, look at this glorious artwork of Kim Kitsuragi, you know, and then my character. It was just like, yeah, is on the edge, let's put it that way. On the very ragged edge of existence. But I'm glad you're okay. It's good to see you. So let's peek in the window.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of the seat and 2 steering levers. It feels like you're peeking into someone's home residence. Inside it's private, cozy, warm, dusty too.
Let's try the handle.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
Like it's been broken off before and broken into, maybe. What's interesting is it said you see 2 steering levers, so these have like tank style controls, you know, like it's not a wheel, it's levers that you steer with, like left to right. That's pretty cool. How are we gonna get this open, Kim?
Use the pry bar to smash the window.
Aha.
Open it from the inside.
Really?
This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
But it's a 3%. This is pretty fucking hard. Because I don't have it equipped. Right. Okay, that's why. Right. So, tools. I've been running around with my clipboard, mainly because it gives me -2 authority. I'm just loving, like, having no ability to exert myself.
This screen found, A to Z, contemporary, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
Look, we've nailed 17%.
Pry-bar in hand, you take a hard swing at the window. A loud thunk rings out and the pry-bar bounces back, leaving a tiny spider web on the glass. Looks like the window might be shatterproof. You may have to rethink your approach.
An armored window. Sorry, it didn't happen. Oh, really? Hit again?
Another futile thunk sounds in the brisk coastal air.
This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
He smashes it into the window.
Huh?
Droplets of glass fly everywhere.
I don't need your
shattering
pity, Kim.
over the lorry floor and pavement. You can just reach in now.
Nice.
It went better than I expected. Open it from the inside.
Clearly, I have arms like wet noodles, and Kim has been working out.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Wow, that's bad. Bad safety. My other posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century.
Cool.
One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat.
Study it.
The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded
Scandalous.
image of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. A feeling of tenderness washes over you. A longing even, perhaps. And gentle tragedy. This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
What happened to her?
She wasted away in a drug den called Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street.
Boogie
a
Street.
mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world and the camera too.
Damn. That's so I mean, you know, someone who's entire career path took them down fame on the big screen was afraid of the world and the camera. Like, oh my god. Alright, enough of the posters.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Alright, the radio.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Interesting.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
They probably use different ones to coordinate drop-offs, maybe. Keep switching between them. Why would anyone need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen.
I mean, I guess.
This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range too.
Anything we can do with it now?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
What else is here?
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat.
Pedals.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
So they've just glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
Yeah. It would also... Oh, yeah, it would rub off the pattern from a driver's right boot sole.
Yes?
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
Oh, thank you, Kim. He's trying to make me feel smart. It's like, well, think about it, Kim. He's already thought it through and already made the connection. One of the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration. The sole was smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
Yes. So this is our missing 8th Hardy. Yeah. There was also the one running the drug trade. What a handful. Oh, first the drug smuggling, now this. How deep does this rabbit hole go? Or, women, shake your head. Always up to something. Wow. No, yeah. We'll go with number 2, I think. Haven't been here in a while, still moving to Canada. Yes, that's the plan. I had to go back to London earlier this month, like about a week and a half ago now. Headed back to London to go and get my fingerprint scans done again, because the other ones didn't come out good, apparently. So that's once again delayed the application. And if it happens again, I'm going to be very cross with somebody. some people are going to get some ears bent and say, look, it's been 2.5 years nearly since I've been with my wife. Could we please move this along and stop fucking around with fingerprints? You know. But hopefully the second scans came out better. I told them when I was there, I was like, look, this is my second visit as well. I probably shouldn't have had to come back, but here I am. They said that the fingerprints weren't good condition. I showed them the letter they sent me. And the guy who then did it, so, you know, like someone else came into the room as well when he overheard, and he's like, really? And they had a look, and it's like, put a note here, and, you know, like, make sure they understand all that, and yeah, and he's like, just take several samples and pick the best one and send it. Which is what the other guy did, so he must have sent the wrong one. I think that's what happened. He took several fingerprint samples, and then it was like, okay, there we go, done. And I think he probably just, you know, ham-fisted it and clicked on the wrong one to attach to the file and send, and he must have sent a bad one. So that's very annoying. But hopefully, yeah, now that that's in, I'm going to get some forward movement on it. We'll see.
Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
Thank you very much, Bell. Yep. Those jerks? Would the Hardys be involved in the drug operation? The entire Union, maybe? It's all over Martinez? Not necessarily. The driver could have kept the drug trade a secret. This could just be another thing. But it would also fit what Joyce told us. But we don't want to make any assumptions. Because, yeah, Joyce tells us that the drugs are coming, or the ingredients for drugs are being brought in through the port by a driver. She feels that the Union might be on that. She wants to know all about it so she can help dismantle this so that it might give them a stronger position during the trade negotiations with the Union. But that doesn't necessarily mean the whole Union's involved, or even the Hardy Boys, or maybe they're just getting involved. Maybe, because it feels like she's insinuated herself into their operation and started to take it over. If we take Measurehead's word on that, he says that they're basically like falling in with this woman and that she's now kind of running things. She's like a boss. So are they breaking away from the Union to get into the dirty shit? Or is the Union stepping in lockstep now with this drug dealing gang? We'll have to see. We shouldn't make any assumptions.
Understood. We should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console, and a
Toolbox.
faint metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Unfold.
It's an issue of Petit Ferique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Pick up the note.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
Oh.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
Push in the toolbox.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio, posters, a trace of motor oil smell under all the cigarettes. He closed the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Did we get that as a note? No, we didn't. No, we didn't get that as a note. I was kind of hoping to look at that. Because it might have something to do with, like, how they're working the radio frequencies. Like, maybe there's a special thing they can do to find, like, a hidden sub-frequency or something. So we need to confront the Hardy Boys about the drug trade, or we can report back to Joyce. So we can see what Titus has to say about it. We can also level up. What are we going to level up? We already leveled up Shivers last time. I don't really want to put anything in much of any of this apart from Shivers. Visual calculus isn't bad. I think I was going to go more into suggestion. Or we could go more into drama. Lie and detect lies. Now, I think we'll put one into suggestion now. Alright. Well, we should talk to Kim as well. Have a word with him.
All right, we're finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something the police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed. Or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Maybe.
And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
It could also be that the reason this guy was hanged was because he found out about the drug trade. Maybe this is like a bloodhound Joyce sent in the first time, and they hanged him to stop him finding out. That's the only reason why she would be there, though, right? So, yeah. What about the movie posters? How do they factor in? I'm sure they factor in. No. So it turns out this is connected to the Union. Yeah, did Joyce know this woman was behind it all along? Maybe. It's possible. She might have had the threadbare amount of information. Who knows? Will the RCM open an investigation into this? Or what? Well, it turns out this is connected to the Union.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition.
Mm-hmm. What about the movie posters? How do they factor?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, one of those, the actress died of drugs, so... A lot of women there, especially for a ladies' cabin, so... Maybe the trader isn't some sorts of cinephile. Or could the film industry be involved? No, cinephile.
Yes, well...
It's like just, and...
Unimportant.
Very important. Will the RCM open an investigation?
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation. Sometime later, when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
Mm-hmm. What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Yeah. I mean, it's either corruption or the jurisdictional nightmare and contest, you know, between, like, well, first of all, two different precincts who contest this as their area of responsibility, hence why Kim is here and we're here. Or also that, and coupled with the fact that the Union claim they run this place and the RCM can stay the fuck out. Like, all of that could be the reason why there's no investigation, because they're like, dude, that would be such a fucking nightmare. But it could be corruption as well.
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Alright, debrief over?
Debrief over. After you.
Alrighty. So, should we talk to Joyce and then talk to, the big dude? Should we talk to the big dude first and then Joyce? That's the big question, which we will answer after the break that we are 15 minutes almost overdue for. So, let me pause it here, guys, real quick. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Alright, so, I've noticed we also need to confront Kuno. Fucking Kuno. We've got to go and give him an earful for lying to us about the armor, of course, because, you know. But yeah. Let's see, what else can we do? Hey, Vargas! Crotch cam looking good right now? Thanks. Fuck, does Kuno care? Fucking Kuno? He's the mad boss, isn't he? Fucking Kuno. Yeah. Kuno doesn't give a shit. But, you know, we'll make him. But yeah, what else were we gonna do? We were gonna decide about either confronting the Hardys about, you know, the whole drug trade connection and the lady. We need to prove our authority to him because, you know, apparently threatening to shoot ourselves didn't win any respect from him. Go figure. Or we could go back to Joyce. I think I'd rather just go back to Joyce first. And we also, that was the other thing, before the guy, I mean, I think the guy's open all night, but before the it gets too late, I do want to sell that trash postcard. How are you, Vargas? Good to see you, dude. Thank you for being my OnlyFans subscriber. If people wondering what the hell I'm on about, go look at Discord.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Stop, gotta leave for the doctors shortly. Ah, okay. What are you going for anything bad? Or, you know, just getting a jab? Or what's, if you want to share? Otherwise, tell me to mind my own business, but yeah. So, let's see. Where's the thing where, how do I open the shop up? Oh, there's something I'd like to sell.
Let me have a look.
Oh, right, a checkup for your back. Right, yeah. That's right, yeah, you've been having some back pains lately. Well, hopefully, you know, it's all looking good. I'd like to sell my clothes. No. I have a fascinating photo of a corpse. Access the pawn menu.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
So the postcard is 120. And upon that, that's 390. Wasn't there something we could do with that? I can't remember. Annoyingly, it's got better in the last half of the week as you got your appointment, sod's law. Well, that's good. I mean, at the very least, you know, it's like that could just be temporary relief. It's still better to go and get checked out, and they'd be like, oh, yeah, I mean, it might be feeling better, but I can feel a problem here if he's going to examine you physically, you know, so always better to do that. I mean, there's Kim's handkerchief. I don't want to pawn Kim's handkerchief. He gave me that in a tender moment. And then we've got the Headless Rider. I bought that from here. I'm not selling that back to him. So does that give us enough? Yes! Just got enough! We sleep tonight in a bed. Nice. But there are other things as well. I do have some clothes. I have that shirt.
I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment.
Oh. Alright. I do have a shirt that I could get rid of. Alright, well, I don't have anything for you. Let's have a look. Inventory. Yeah, there's my old shirt, because it gave me -1 suggestion, which is something I want to build. So when I pulled this tank top out of the trash that gives me physical instrument, then yeah, I should put my bag back in my hand as well. We're back to hobo cop mode. We have the cop's clipboard and we have our hobo trash bag. We're all good. Now we go talk to Joyce. That's this way though, right? Yeah. And we destroyed this poor guy's game of booze. Poor guys. Okay, Joyce, it's time to fess up. Tell us what you know. Hi, Joyce.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Alright, now we spoke with the lorryman at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Oh, we didn't go back to speak to Manana, because I think he's the eyes on the harbour. She said somewhere perched up high, overwatching the trucks. That's exactly where he is. It's either him or Measurehead. Anyway, we can always talk to them later. Where exactly are these eyes?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologise for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them a read on the entire
It could,
court.
yeah, they could also just be in a building somewhere looking out of a window like a bunch of sneaks.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the slight glimmer in her green eyes tells you otherwise.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
What was this about, a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
I already heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike. I need your testimony.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
We kind of figured that was why he was here before, right? She mentioned something about there being security for her, and we thought, well, maybe this guy was part of them. A momentary lapse of faith.
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
So they thought, well, there's no point. She's, yeah, as good as she is, she's not going anywhere with this, and let's go crack some heads.
Every worker...
A member of the board.
Yes.
I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor.
Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating.
So there are 2 more out there somewhere. And Crenell, I'm sure that was the name that came up when we spoke to the dispatcher, when we ran the serial number.
They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
I'm guessing that's like a PTSD facsimile, right? Trauma and stressor disorder.
So, what happened?
It's like the game's word for PTSD.
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman.
This is what
while
we've
he was
heard.
drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him.
So this is lining up with what Titus told us.
He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
Now?
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
They're gonna just straight up come and kill the Hardy Boys.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
That will be the proverbial flaming match to the powder keg. You know, that'll be it then. It's just everything goes up.
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
So you've made a mess. Fucking capitalists. I have to say, this is not disco.
It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The Debarder have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
It isn't really when you watch it. It's like, damn. The bees just swarm it and then vibrate their bodies and cook the hornet alive. It's pretty fucking badass.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
That can happen too.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. As I said, a bloodbath.
So, see, Kim, this is the great bloodletting I've been telling you about, or... can't see it happen. Too many things would have to go wrong first. No, no. It will happen. This isn't a pretty bleak scenario you're describing. Think the confrontation is inevitable. I mean, it might be. Pressure has boiled over. But, yeah. See, Kim, this is it.
It appears you found it, yes. And I'm not happy for you.
Yeah. This is, so, yeah. It's inevitable.
It doesn't have to be like this. Nameless, badgeless officer of the citizens' militia. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, a good one, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
Tell me about Cronell.
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
I do believe that was the other word we heard.
Down a deep, black well.
Yeah.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eendracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Cronell.
Could you contact the company and tell them to just call them off? Or, yeah, I was going to read that as tell them to fuck off, but yeah, tell them to fuck off.
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
So the deceased assaulted a woman.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Who did the passing on?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
And what did the teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
But it's one that we don't have any information on, and Titus was not telling us shit about that. He was all like, nope, it's been dealt with internally, and there was something very fishy about it. Like, is this the excuse? Like, did it actually happen? Is it faked? You know, did they just spread the story around to give them a justification for a lynching to then get the war going? Or did this happen? And are they protecting the person? Was this a real thing, you know?
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too.
Yeah, because what they described was a guy that basically just walked in and started making a mess of the place and shouting and yelling and saying about how he's gonna fucking kill everybody and all that stuff. And it's like, really though? That seems very unlikely. So maybe the guy had been, like, had a drink spiked or something, went off his nut. I don't know, there's still something very fishy.
Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
Yeah. And who was the woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
You'll meet her soon enough, you feel.
So the colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive, yes. But I did not know him.
You don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her voice, but she had sympathy for this man.
You liked him?
Liked is a bit strong. He was the most charismatic among them. He handled all the talking. His departure left a major gap in the group's communication skills.
And his name was?
Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Anything else? Nationality? Now tell me about the others first.
One is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
Oh. That's interesting. We've just broken into the truck of a woman who has lots of radio equipment in her truck. Okay.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased?
Let's just file that in the back of the brain.
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40 or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Where are the remaining two mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
A private military company thinks we're vigilantes. Yeah, gotcha. No, but we still need to know where they are to avoid stumbling into them.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
And where are they? The 97% chance.
One is obviously the scab leader at
Yes.
the harbour gates.
Called it.
The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining
I
his
called it.
disguise.
When we noticed his clothes were ill-fitting in a way, it's like almost like they were hastily put together while here in town, like he stole them from someone's washing line and they needed to cover his armor. Called it.
The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the land.
Yes. The building south of the roundabout, eh? One must be the goon in the ill-fitting work clothes by the harbour gate, the scab leader.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
And one is probably in the building overlooking the roundabout.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
A good vantage point, you know, where we were being observed, for instance.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel.
Okay.
I hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we have on this?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
5 days, not more. Maybe sooner.
Okay.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
Alright, that's enough.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Now can you tell me about the tattoos you said you were going to tell us about?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute in silence.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Observe.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver. Has she seen dead bodies before? It's likely.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like stars in the sky?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
Oh, cool. Okay, so what's the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Where is he now?
Yeah, I've spoken to him. For now, the soul is fastened inside the corpse in a freezer shaped like a bear. On nowhere there is no soul. No, I've spoken to him.
That is precisely what the sailors feared when they drew these maps. A fear of drowning within one's own corpse.
And what travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this. Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Somewhere in an office lit by a single green desk lamp, Captain Ptolemaeus Price, 58, bald and bespectacled, is writing in a ledger on his desk. Rows and rows of days and weeks, laconic remarks in a single column. Patrol, case, vacation, injured. In Martinez looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren. Distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter.
This man is no brother of mine, but this is his service history.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Let's go show them the picture then.
It could go this or the other way. Maybe if you're tactful, it could be beneficial.
Yeah, right. Empathy knows what's up.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
But it might be beneficial. Put it on the schedule. Mark it down.
Do what you have to do, Detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
We will be careful, ma'am.
Alright, that's all for the tattoos.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
I'm out. I would like to, get the full download on the history of the place from her as well, but maybe later. Alright, so we did get a little bit of something else. We can ask the scab leader about the tattoos. That's a possibility. But first, we're gonna confront Kuno. Where was that? Well, I know I can do it. Oh, and I've got a point. Another level up. Holy cow. Empathy gets this one. There we go. Because we are a people person. I should also pay Gart before I lose this money. You never know. I may end up in a situation where I get forced to give money. Do that first.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I managed to scrounge up money by digging through trash. Here you go.
Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Yes, I know how this works. I'm not
Take it easy.
simple.
Deep down, he really hates being the guy who has to remind you.
He doesn't have to remind me, though. I know how hotels work. Jesus. Alright, fucking Kuno. I'm coming for you, you little fuck.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Fuck you, Kuno. I talked to Manana.
So?
Mm-hmm.
You should thank him.
Really? You think so? Why?